Hello, I have arrived. Artist, VTuber, future man, and tonight, amateur, and also failed, but amateur monster hunter wrangler. You can call me Tiberious Vanderfield. So, tonight, Arknights. We've been saying that a lot recently. Yeah, saying that quite a bit. But yeah, it's a big day today. We are continuing the struggle against the Rathalos, and hopefully, we shouldn't be struggling against it for too much longer. But yeah. So, following... haven't seen you in a while? Yeah. But yeah, what's up? Not a whole lot, just about to get started. Yeah, just playing some Arknights. And let me tell you, we've been having a little bit of trouble with these, some of the later stages in the event that we're going through currently. We've had quite a lot of trouble in this most recent stage. We were unable to clear it after yesterday's stream, sadly, which is a little bit of a problem because we don't have that many more days left to be able to do this event. Basically, we will have today and tomorrow, and once those days are done, the event is gone and it will not come back, in all likelihood. So, if we want to see the end of this story with our own two eyes, not pre-recorded, I suppose it would be pre-recorded for anyone watching the VODs. Yes, I do need to hurry up with that. But yes, so, a lot of the struggle came from the fact that this latest stage in the event suggests that we have a level of, we have our operators at Elite 2 promotion and level 20. This is a problem because we don't currently have the capacity to upgrade any of our units to Elite 2, because that requires resources that, as far as I'm aware, can only be acquired once you have achieved a certain amount of story progress. And we haven't achieved that amount of story progress. That would require me clearing an entire chapter of the story. And yeah, that's not impossible, especially if I were to skip through the story, but I don't want to do that, ideally. You know, I can always replay the cutscenes and all that, replay the stages, so it's not like it's anything that we're losing permanently by playing through it in a bit of a weird way. But I don't want to do that. And, following some research that I did yesterday, I believe we shouldn't have to. But yeah. So yesterday I said that I was done for the day and didn't really want to do any more with regards to Arknights. But I continued to do things with regards to Arknights. I started looking up more information about the event, or more specifically, more information about the Rathalos and that specific stage. And I ended up looking to see if there was a strategy we could employ that would allow us to win with our underleveled units. And this was something of a hard thing to achieve. There's a lot of people out there who put out guides for Arknights that focus on using small numbers of units or on using low rarity units largely. But the problem with a lot of these guides is that while they are, typically, not contingent on having some of the operators that are considered to be more powerful, or are not contingent on having a full team of operators, pretty much all of them are contingent upon you having your operators individual operators very strong. Most of these strategies that I saw, most of them require that you have at least one unit at Elite 2, typically the damage dealer of your party. I suppose the squad is more of an apt term. But yes, the damage dealing unit typically would be at Elite 2. And I actually tried using one of our better damage dealers, one of our highest level damage dealers, to replicate the strategy I saw in one of those videos, and I was unable to. I simply could not, despite my best efforts, could not muster the amount of damage necessary to clear the boss. So yes, another strategy that I did come up with, and this was actually the first thing I figured out, but another thing that I thought up was I could potentially just essentially let the Rathalos cook, as they say. Because it won't be that aggressive until we fight it too much and deplete its first health bar. But yeah, so if you don't do that, it will be a nuisance, but it probably won't wipe your team like it did once I enraged it. And eventually, as we've seen from the past encounters, it will eventually leave. It will leave the field eventually, and we will go then into a part of the stage where we need to fight it properly again. And every time we did that last time, we failed, basically. No two ways about it, we failed. We tried to fight the Rathalos and we weren't able to deplete its health to get it anywhere near low enough to actually defeat it. And every time it would bypass our defenses, it would go into the area where enemies go when they bypass your defenses, and we would lose. And I had speculated at the time that the Rathalos passing by your defenses and entering the goal, so to speak, was an instant mission failure. But I learned that that's not actually true. As it turns out, the Rathalos entering the goal only counts as 2 units entering the goal, rather than the 3 that are necessary to lose the level. Which seems odd to me, but whatever. But yeah, it just so happens that every single time that we had gotten down to just us and the Rathalos had been, we had let at least one enemy through our defenses, so the Rathalos passing through them would bring the effective number of units that had gone to the goal up to 3, and thus we would lose. And so, like I said, I tried a bunch of strategies. I wasn't able to figure anything, I tried a bunch of strategies that I found online, and I wasn't able to figure anything out. And eventually, I figured out that the Rathalos could, if you don't let any other enemies slip past your guard and go into the goal, you can let the Rathalos do so, and you won't lose necessarily. You will complete the stage. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't really want to do that, so I kept digging some more. And eventually, I did find a video, and probably once the VOD goes up, I will include a link to it. But I found a video by a YouTube user by the name of I Love Amia. Yes, who proposed a strategy, or rather demonstrated a strategy, that not only didn't use high-level units, it only used 3-star units. And none of these 3 stars are necessarily all that's specifically necessary to accomplishing this goal. So, any of them should be able to be substituted. And one interesting thing about this strategy is that not only does it not use any Elite 2 units, which is the biggest stumbling block for me specifically, given my inability to create any at this point, it also relies upon you not having Elite 2 units, basically, because if you have, or at least if one specific one of your units is Elite 2 in this strategy, you will actually deal damage to the Rathalos too fast and cause it to enrage before you are ready to deal with it properly. But yes, so I haven't practiced it any, so I'm going to go into the stage attempting a modified version of the strategy, because I want to use operators rather than just using the operators in the video. Ideally, I would like to use the operators that we've been using throughout the event, just for the sake of continuity and sentimentality, I suppose, basically. Sip. Plus, I like to figure things out myself a little bit. All throughout this event, we have been challenging ourselves to try and do this at the lowest level that we can, and we've been doing okay. These very last few levels have really thrown a wrench into our plans and required us to level up quite a bit. And this latest one, with any conventional tactics I knew, probably would not be possible. Yeah, I did learn quite a bit from watching those videos, but yeah, with any conventional tactics that I had thought of so far, probably would not have been possible unless I was able to promote my units again to get them to Elite 2. But yeah, anyway, this is all a lot of words to say that we're basically, this is all a lot of words to say that we're about to attempt, again, a strategy that someone else came up with, and credit to them. I'm a little bit sad that I wasn't able to figure out something, a way to beat the stage completely without looking it up, but again, there's a very limited amount of time that we have left, so there are certain compromises that have to be made. At any rate, there's no need for me to be prideful about this. The story is the most important part as far as I'm concerned, so if we can see more of the story, then I can be satisfied with that. Plus, figuring things out will give me a little bit more of a challenge. Figuring out how to do this with my own operators will give me a little bit more of a challenge, so I'll enjoy that, even if I am not going to have the enjoyment of having figured it out completely on my own. But anyway, that's a lot of words that I just said, and I haven't gotten into the business, but before I get into the business, if you're still around, how have you been doing? And while I wait for a reply, I will get into the business. So, today, Arknights. We already discussed that in great depth. Tomorrow, probably not more Arknights, because I expect to be done with the event story today, and given everything that has happened, I don't anticipate being able to do the challenge stages following the event. So we're probably just going to have to leave those within the realm of, or within the domain of those who have played this game more than me and been able to achieve more. Yeah, finish your school stuff and need to figure out what I should figure out. Should I find a new place to work, or should I return to my old job, or what to do? Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, an interesting conundrum. I personally, I've not struggled much getting a job. I didn't have a job up until I completed, or until I was, I didn't have a job prior to college, I suppose, specifically. Yeah, I worked a few jobs during college. Yeah, bad at seeking for jobs? Fair enough, I am too, to be honest. Almost every job I've had is a job that was specifically offered to me by someone who I happen to know. But yeah, only one job has been a job that I was specifically looking for. And that was my very first job. Yeah, after that, every job that I have taken has either been one that was specifically offered to me, or one that I was able to get someone to introduce me, basically. Yeah, same, I always got a job from somewhere. But yeah. Now, where was I? Oh yes, so, tomorrow, we're probably not going to be playing any more Arknights, because, I was originally planning on, if I really had to, I would spend some more time in the afternoon on that day, probably around 12:30 p.m. I guess I don't need to say the specific times, because we're not going to be streaming then, almost certainly. Yeah, I might spend some time around then doing an emergency Arknight stream if I really needed to spend extra time figuring out a strategy, but that should be unnecessary now. Yeah. That being said, Wednesday we should be back to the usual weekly collab with Sheppy Sheps, playing Coffee Talk at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Then Thursday and Friday and Saturday, probably won't be streaming, because it has been a very busy week this last week for me, and I'm a little bit tired, to be honest. But yeah, it's not been too bad, but it's definitely been more than I bargained for when I first got into this event. I expected it would be doable. I expected it would be doable without too much struggle. Hence why I continually underleveled my units going through it. But yeah, while I have played this game, like I mentioned, for a long time, I played it extremely casually, pretty much only just doing stages to, doing the levels to grind materials since the game came out. Since the game came out, that's basically been all I have been doing. And so I simply do not have the depth of strategic knowledge that I sort of hoped for. And I definitely don't have, like I said, the means to get my units up to the level that the game expects me to be facing these challenges. Yeah, I definitely didn't expect the event to have a challenge this challenging outside of the challenge stages, basically. But yeah, I think that's basically everything that needs to be said. So we've already talked about what we're doing today, we've talked about what we're doing tomorrow, and we've talked about the fact that we're probably not doing anything for the rest of the week after tomorrow. I might mix in a few streams here or there that aren't Arknights. Just for a little bit of variety, because again, we've been playing a lot of Arknights recently. But yeah, some other business that isn't directly related to these streams are I've started putting timestamps in the descriptions of my VODs on the YouTube channel. Feel free to go to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Yeah, I've put timestamps in the VODs so you can skip around and find the parts that are more interesting to you. Today I actually spent some time, I had a little bit of extra time in the morning, so I actually edited a little clip. I edited a little clip from the last stream, and so I'm probably going to upload that as a YouTube short as well. Basically, I did this just to give myself a little bit more experience with video editing. It's a very simple thing, but hopefully it'll be a little bit amusing. But yes. Let's see. Oh, another thing. With regards to the previous game that we were focusing on, Tales of Arise, there's apparently something related to Tales of Arise that's coming out in the near future. I don't know if it's a sequel or a DLC or anything like that. I just saw something on my Steam library saying something about it, and I've deliberately avoided looking into it because I don't know what's up with it, basically. Yeah, I'm pretty invested in the story of the game, and as usual, I want to avoid spoilers as much as possible, both for myself and for my chat. And I feel like the Tales of Arise is the sort of game where knowing that basically anything that you could know about the sequel to it tells you a lot about how the outcome is going to be. I already have, well, I don't know, I was going to say I have some ideas about what the outcome of the game is going to be, but I really don't. Anyway, so I'm aware that there is something related to Tales of Arise coming up in the near future. I have no idea what that thing is, and I haven't been looking into it. And I've been deliberately avoiding looking into it. Once we get back into Tales of Arise, and we beat that eventually, which might take a little while, there's a lot of Arknights to be done still, but once we get back into Tales of Arise, we'll probably see that also at some point, depending on what it is. But yeah, that should be basically everything. So I talked about the stream schedule, I talked about some things I've been doing with my VODs, I talked about the Tales of Arise thing. That should be basically everything that's relevant. So, let's get into things. Video games. Alright, so. There we are. Alright. Operation CF9. We're gonna have to make some changes to the squad a little bit here. Nothing too dramatic. In fact, I think probably, now that I think about it, we're probably only going to need to make one change to the squad. There's only one change that I was going to say no, but I don't know for sure that I know this. Anyway, there's only one major change that I expect to make to the squad, and that is going to be swapping out Noir Corn here. So, while I do that, once again, the movie. Give me just 1 second here. So, you may be asking yourself, Noir Corn has served us faithfully throughout this entire event, from the very first stages, even before we got his alternate form here. Who could we possibly replace Noir Corn with? Not only who are we going to, but who could we? Well, you see, the person that we're replacing Noir Corn with is Noir Corn. But yes, so you will see the strategy Hopefully I will be able to employ it effectively, but you will see the strategy here very briefly. It's quite frankly extraordinarily simple. Extraordinarily simple, but probably not something I would have thought of on my own.
Let's look alive out there.
But yes, like I said, very straightforward. Yeah, a lot of it is basically just, I suppose one of the more important things to say about it is that it involves using a lot of these wire drones. I learned that I've been dramatically underestimating the value of the wire drones. They are quite powerful in the right hands.
Stay alert.
But yes, the wire drones are, I guess, more so than in the right hands. They're extraordinarily powerful in the right
You get no sympathy.
right circumstances. But yes, the wire drones, as we already established, they reset the position of your units, or they allow you to change the position of your units, which is without having to remove them and then redeploy them, which is not a normal thing that you can do. Normally you have to remove the unit from play.
Deployed.
Okay, I messed up this. Oh, no, okay, we're good. Did mess that up a little bit.
There is no turning back
But
for
yes,
you.
so we need to deal with all of these beasts here, these goat-like creatures, and ideally we will do that before the Rathalos becomes an issue for us. But yeah, the Rathalos will be something that we deal with here shortly, but like I said, we have a very specific way that we're going to go about this. I just realized, where is... Do we remove Ash from this team? Where is she? Ah, Utage took her place. Right. Alright. Now I need to check over my notes real quick. I think we should be just about where we need things. So, Norcorn goes here. Perfumer here.
Arrived at designated position.
Yeah, and Honeyberry there. This should be a lot of what we need. We will need to move one of our units down here.
Stay alert.
One of our ranged units down here. And I believe we will want to redeploy you roughly... Actually, where do I want to put them? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. So, we're going to kind of figure this out as we go, basically. Yeah, the original strategy only... Ah, hold on. I'm realizing I made a mistake.
Set.
One of you should go back to here.
I know what to do.
But yeah, anyway. So basically, what I was saying about the wire drones is that I've been crucially underestimating them and their effectiveness because they are able to prevent. Alright, just to be sure, I think we should be fine basically with just the 2 medics. We shouldn't need anything more. But where was I? So yeah, the wire drones. The wire drones are extraordinarily powerful, I've learned, in that we already knew that they allowed you to move your units around, and we knew that they allowed you to, in allowing you to move your units around, they reset the units. We knew that they reset the skills on your units. Like any skill points that they had acquired to charge up their skills, they would lose. But one thing that we hadn't seen, one thing that I hadn't noticed, we had seen it of course, but no, I didn't think of it. Yeah, one thing that we hadn't noticed about it is the fact that it also resets their health. And perhaps a viewer might have, but I certainly didn't. But yeah, it resets the health of the unit, thus causing it to, be healthy again if it had taken some damage, which is very useful. Very useful. Once again, we should be fine just with having 2 medics on Noir Corn, but I'm a little bit paranoid, so I keep using their skills anyway. Not as though there's any real detriment to doing so, so it should be essentially fine.
Keep writhing in the gutter.
Yeah, I don't remember precisely what happens at precisely every moment of the mission, so forgive me again if I get a little bit afraid. Yeah, I've definitely been, I was going to say impressed, but I guess that's not really the word for it. I've been surprised by how relatively easy the enemies are to defeat in this mission. Because yeah, most of them are not a significant threat to us in all honesty.
You get no sympathy.
Yeah, it's really the Rathalos who carries the weight of the mission on his shoulders. Okay, so now we are at a point where we should be able to execute the next part of this strategy pretty easily.
No problem. No matter what trouble we're in.
Because this is the phase where we actually start to deal good damage to the Rathalos. Oh, hold on. Did I... No, this is... Okay, this is fine, this is fine. I was going to say, did I mess up? But no, we're fine. Yes. So, our 2 medics should be able to handle everything else. Tachanka and Frost should be able to handle the south side, basically completely fine. And very soon, Rathalos will lose its first health bar. At which point, things will get a little bit tougher for us, but not that bad, to be honest.
これ以上来るなら容赦しないからな。
Alright, alright, alright. So, now it's going to stun, and it's going to take off. But, obviously, we don't want it to fly around, because then it's very dangerous to us. So, we won't let it do that. Instead, we're going to knock it to the ground, and we're going to shoot it very hard, and we're going to shoot it very good. And more specifically, we're going to move Tachanka. I think this should be fine. Tachanka should be far enough away to avoid the worst of this. Yeah, mind if I hang out while playing Pokemon? Please, go right ahead. Good to have you here, Pick. Yes, we will probably need to move our medics around a little bit during... Okay, the strategy has failed. Okay. So...
Keep writhing in the gutter.
Blitz. Blitz, blitz, blitz.
这是新的指令，天地画像。
Alright, the strategy has fallen apart a little bit, so now we have to improvise.
僕がいるから大丈夫だよ、ドクター。いただきます。どこ切りがいいのかな。
So, yeah, also hang here while I try to beat Sam and Max? Fair enough, fair enough. Oh dear. Oh, okay, right. Okay, I'm realizing what I did wrong anyway. I need to go to sleep soon anyway. Fair enough, fair enough. Anyway, so, I realized what I did wrong, and that is I forgot to keep track of the operators. I forgot to keep track of the health of my operators.
You make a retreat and grant me one more attempt.
So, let's try that again. Oh, hold on. I forgot to get a good meal. Can't forget that. Soon we will dine upon Rathalos tears. But before that, or until then, real quick, I don't know, I kind of like having Utage around, given her, she's been very useful for this mission, but I do kind of want Ash here.
It's ready.
I want a little bit more range damage anyhow. So yeah. Let's see, I think we should be fine. Yeah, I just need to keep a closer watch on Noir Corn, I do believe. At any rate, once I have, yeah, after we have, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not sure. Anyway. after Noir Corn has
Don't let them get the drop on you.
what is the thought that I'm trying to express here? Oh dear. I'm not sure. Oh well.
Keep writhing in
But
the
yeah.
gutter.
So, I need to keep a closer watch on Noir Corn. I need to keep a closer watch on him so that he doesn't die. Yeah, I need to keep a closer watch on Noir Corn because it is absolutely crucial that I avoid him going down. Yeah, the strategy did use a slightly tougher defender, so, you know, this is in part my fault.
Laying out the welcome mat.
这是新的指令。
Yeah, you should be fine. We don't really need you that much. Yeah, again, it is the most important part of this is that I don't. Well, okay.
Laying out the
So
welcome mat.
I messed up a little bit, but like I said, the most important part of this is that I don't make the Rathalos too angry too fast. Okay.
Deployed.
This is
We're ready for company.
going a lot differently than I expected. I guess because I didn't do it properly, basically, but this should still be salvageable. Because again, essentially all we need for right now is to distract the Rathalos.
Everyone, focus on fighting. Just leave treatment to me.
This should be...
怖くはない
I don't know that this is ideal necessarily, but it should be fine, basically. Okay. So, now, we can start moving our operators around a little bit. Move you up here. Up here, I think, actually, is where you're technically supposed to go.
え落ち着いて Do I have to jump down? Everyone, hang in there.
So this fellow here, I wasn't expecting to be there.
So that's our
So that's a little bit of an issue that we're going to have to deal with, but it's an issue that should be easy to deal with.
Finally. Am I up?
Well, I was going to say one thing that we could do is we could deploy 9-colored deer to also cover Noir Corn. But doing that would probably be disadvantageous for us in the long run because we don't want the Rathalos to get angry too fast. Alright, alright. Oh, I didn't realize that Ash was back to her default skill. That's fine, I suppose, though. We don't really need her to be able to stun on command. We just need her to kill things, basically. And shooting twice is pretty good for killing things. But yes, so, we're still having that very nice problem solving that I was hoping for. Yeah. I think we should still be fine on the medics. I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I don't think we need to worry. I think we're fine. Yeah, again, the issue is just I need to be smarter with my positioning of Noir Corn.
No turning back for you.
Yeah, I need to wire drone all of my medics. I don't know. I don't know that I need to necessarily wire drone all of them that strongly, because the strategy, the video that I watched only used one medic. So I don't know how important it is that I have all of them, you know, all healed up We're all droned
I
up.
have to jump down. No matter what trouble we're in, I'll face it
But
together.
again, I want to make sure that with all that is within me, I am keeping Noir Corn alive because he is basically the cornerstone of this strategy. Yes. So we should be able to redeploy you here. Yeah, I think we want to wait to deal damage. Yeah, we want to wait to... I think part of the issue is that I started damaging the Rathalos too
There's no
early.
turning back for you.
Yeah, I don't want to do that until we've cleared out some more enemies. And again, I don't know that that's exactly what led to a failure in the mission earlier, but that's definitely a factor. I suppose we can activate your skill to clear these out a little bit sooner. But yeah, we don't need to... Oh, okay, so there's only one enemy within your range anyway. Interesting.
There is no turning back for you.
So now we're, again, in a situation that I didn't plan on. I think we should be fine still. We just need to wait for these rocky fellows to get back within the range where our operators can shoot them. Which, due to my own positioning, is not as many spaces as we might perhaps like.
Keep writhing in the gutter.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like I should have used Tachanka there a little bit more, perhaps. So, we're deploying Tachanka. We're gonna have to move Tachanka before too long, but for the time... okay. So, this is fine.
Quickly!
So yeah, once again, we don't need Noir Corn specifically for any quality that Noir Corn has. We need Noir Corn because he deals less damage than most other guards, basically, or most other defenders, rather. Yeah, basically, we aren't actually that concerned with him surviving, necessarily. We just need him to stall the Rathalos. Alright, might as well just shoot it with the grenade to make it go down faster. Alright, Rathalos' first health bar has gone down. It's going to fly, or it's going to roar, and then it's going to fly. Alright, and once it's in the air, we're going to knock it down again. Alright, redeploy Tachanka. Activate skill. I think I could, though I don't necessarily know that I want to, but I think I could redeploy Ash or, okay, that was a bad idea on Ash. I don't want her so close that she, you know, dies, basically. But yes, if we see... Alright. Blitz is fine. He's still fine. We don't need to worry about Blitz right now, I don't think. Oh, I maybe should have watched a little bit more carefully. Oh no, that's bad, that's bad. We put Blitz in the wrong spot. Yeah, because we made it turn around.
Oh yes.
Wait, where'd Blitz go? Did Blitz... Okay, Blitz is down.
Here I come.
This is fine, though. This is not fine, though, actually. Hold on. Okay, so... we messed up. Again.
I've got this.
Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. I need to stun it. Okay, so that... Okay. Alright, I got a little bit panicked there. Okay, so let's go over the steps again. So, we need to deploy operators to eliminate enemies. We need to deploy operators to eliminate enemies, basically, is the main goal. We need to hold off on using defenders who have good damage, basically. So we can't deploy Blitz as our first defender. We can deploy him second, but ideally we're not going to let Noir Corn go down at all. If the Rathalos gets up, we need to knock it back down. Full stop. And so I can't get too wrapped up in anything else.
It's time. We should be departing any moment now.
Okay, so once more from the top. We are going to deploy units here to deal with these enemies here. Yeah, I feel like... I think I'm putting 9-color deer in a slightly wrong position because I don't remember the unit that they used in the video going down that early. And now I wanted to place her just a little bit further back so she wouldn't get attacked by the Rathalos. But in doing so, I put her in a position where she's taking damage even sooner. So that might not be great, but the main point of her here is essentially just to thin out the herd a little bit. Alright. So, let's place Tachanka here. 9-color deer is down, which is basically what we expected. But yes, we don't need to deploy Noir Corn for a little while. We don't need to deploy Noir Corn for a little while. Yeah, I do need to be careful where I place my medic because I don't necessarily want an enemy to attack her. Again, we can deal with single threats to Honeyberry, but, you know, ideally we wouldn't have to at all.
Oh, yes.
Might as well.
Yes,
Keep writhing in the gutter.
The incendiary grenade's not quite as powerful as I was hoping for, to be honest, but I guess it's, again, not much of a problem, to be honest.
I've got this.
Alright. Honeyberry.
Everyone, focus on fighting.
Perfumer.
Just leave treatment to me. これが戦場というものね。
Yeah, we could conceivably use operators that have, or we could conceivably use, what's the word I'm looking for? Could conceivably use range units that have a little bit more, or healers, medics. One of those combinations of words. We could conceivably use medics that have a little bit more healing on them.
Keep writhing in the gutter.
But again, I think 2 should be fine. If this keeps up, then I think I'll probably switch up the strategy a little bit. Yeah, all in all, things are going
No problem.
okay.
Hang in there.
They're not going too bad.
Laying out the welcome mat.
Yeah, everything is basically as we planned it to be at this point. So, again, the main thing I need to watch out for is to make sure that the Rathalos doesn't fly, because that will defeat the entire purpose of Noir Corn being here, basically, because his whole purpose is to prevent it from flying away. Yeah. More specifically, it is to block the Rathalos, hence why we need a defender. Yeah, we need to block the Rathalos with a unit that has at least 3 block. Yes, we need to block the Rathalos, and while it is blocked, we need to then lay on the damage. And so I was doing okay at the damage part, but I wasn't paying attention to the flying. I sort of forgot that it gets much stronger once it's flying. Yeah, again, part of the issue might just be that our medics aren't quite as strong as they potentially should be. I don't know, they are elite and very high level.
I've got a real penchant for that.
So they should have pretty good stats, at least, you know, sufficient for our purposes. Yes, I think at this point we should be able to... Yeah, we should be able to switch our focus on... I don't want to move to Chonka just yet. I think we should be fine, because yeah, we do have Frost here. Yeah, there shouldn't be any more enemies coming out from the bottom, I don't think. So we might want to place Ash thusly, basically. Okay, so I messed up a little bit, but Lo Xiaohei should be able to deal with that. Alright, Noircorn is a little bit low on health, but we haven't been having him go down during this part of the plan thus far. So I think we're fine on that front. I'm still a little bit worried, to be totally honest with you, but maybe I don't necessarily need to be.
Keep writhing in the gutter.
But yeah, the Rocky Fellows haven't proven to be a very significant danger to us. So they might continue to not be, basically.
Setting up.
Alright. I kind of wish I had Frost deployed in a slightly more convenient position, but this is fine too, I suppose. She will contribute to a... She will still contribute. She will still contribute. Alright. This is still incredibly tense, I must admit. I definitely wasn't expecting it to be this tense once we got into what I, expected to be a part of the game that I will be, like, prepared for.
Garbage.
But it does indeed prove to be still kind of nerve-wracking. As soon as the Rocky Fellow is defeated, then we should move into Phase 2. And yeah, so between Tachanka and Tadafons, we should have more than enough damage to take Rathalos into its second phase, and quite quickly too. Alright, so it's going to roar, knock everyone out, get its health back, and it's going to take off after breathing fire on the ground. I suppose now we're at a point where we can, in fact, deploy 9-color deer. Though actually, no. She doesn't really have a place to go right now, actually. Oh yeah, we'll have to move our medics most likely, in case they get targeted by any Rathalos fireballs. But all of our units that we need to be particularly careful with are already protected.
Oh yes.
Alright. Does it look like Noircorn might go down? Honestly, I'm a little bit...
Do I have to jump down? I've got a way to treat you here.
Okay, I don't like him... Okay. We can get the Rathalos to turn around. Okay. Yeah, I think that's sort of the one of the main problems I was facing. I was just being too...
I've got this.
Trying to be a little bit too cautious with how I position the Rathalos. Oh dear. Okay. So, it is turned around, which is probably an issue for us. Because, yeah, there go our medics, and therefore there go our chances of success, I think. Alright. Interesting.
Damn it! Did anyone remember to bring the ammo?
So, I let it go a little bit too far there. Look. Yeah, hopefully, anyway, I'm going to look over the footage again real quick to understand what I've been doing wrong. Because, yeah, I guess part of the issue could just be that Noircorn is not sufficiently tough for this, but I don't know, the guy did say that it should be possible with him. I guess it might just need a little bit more micromanagement. But yes. Oh, right. Well, that's only part of it. Anyway, basically, one of the things is that you can actually use the wire drone to move your units out of place while the Rathalos is... Oh, okay, I just realized one thing that I was doing wrong. Is that I was supposed to be... For one thing, I was supposed to move our defender back a little bit once the Rathalos got into its phase where it starts to move again. Yeah, and I was supposed to move our medic out of the way so that they wouldn't get targeted also. Because yeah, the Rathalos, if it has a target in front of it, or if it has any targets in front of it, it will prioritize targets in front. Okay, okay. Okay. So I think I understand where we're sort of going wrong here. At least part of it. Yeah, again, it will require a fair amount of direct intervention on my part. But we should still be able to make this work.
Don't let them get the drop on you.
Yeah, I've been using 9-color deer up at the top, but I suppose she doesn't specifically need to be there. I could do this just as well, if honestly probably better, with Ash. I think this should actually cover more units in the long term. Alright, and yeah, we will want to move Frost before too long, so we might as well wire drone her already.
Setting up.
And once the Rathalos roars... Ooh,
You get no sympathy.
Pardon, I'm a little bit frazzled still. Okay, we should be... Nope. Well, we're less than fine, but we're not terrible, to be honest. I don't know why that one got through. I guess I must have just placed a Chonka in the wrong place.
Hurry up.
Weird. Anyway. Perfumer's not an amazing choice, to be honest, because we can't place her in such a way that she'll be out of the literal line of fire.
Keep in the gutter.
I think I might also be letting the Rathalos get a little bit too far forward.
Here I come.
I think I need to prevent it from doing
Right in
so.
designated position. Treatment target これが戦場というものね。
I suppose if I... no, I can't place... Yeah, I can't place
え?
Perfumer behind the Rathalos in such a place that she will be able to heal Noircorn.
Oh, yes.
Garbage.
Yeah, she... Ooh, oh, this is bad, actually. Hold on. You can damage the Rathalos. We don't want that. Alright, so, Pachanka. Move, please. You can cover this flank.
問題ないわ。落ち着いて。Get a hold of your breathing.
Alright, alright. Yeah, Perfumer does add a little bit of insurance in the form of preventing other operators from taking too much damage, or rather by healing them when they do take damage.
Stay alert. There is no turning back for you.
Yeah, we might as well just lay out as many welcome mats as we can. I wonder if redeploying Frost with the wire drone resets her welcome mats. I mean, obviously it will reset the skill, because it resets all skills to their basic level, or to their basic state. But I wonder if it will move them. I maybe don't need to necessarily put this many welcome mats down, but we might as well, you know? Just a little bit more damage, a little bit more insurance. Some of these might get in the way to a certain extent, but by the time we need to move our units around, probably the number, yeah, most of these welcome mats, if not all of them, will have been stepped on. Alright, Northcorn continues to do his level best, and we deeply appreciate him for that. We will, of course, need to move our medics after a certain point as well, and I will need to be very careful, like we said, in the positioning of our defenders. Yes. So, we are getting very close to the point where we can stop worrying so much. Oh, nope.
I'm all stocked up.
I keep not paying attention properly, and that's a little bit of an issue, but it shouldn't be that much of an issue. We are going to want to damage the Rathlos after all at some point, just not now.
Welcome set.
Yeah, I think we might actually be at a point where we don't need any more welcome mats at the bottom.
Setting barricade.
So here's a good chance for us to test out our theory, I suppose. And we'll place Frost facing... Okay, yes, that does get rid of the welcome mats. That probably wasn't the most ideal position to put Frost in, but we don't need her to be all that optimized, you know?
No problem.
Yeah, part of, I think,
No problem.
what made the other strategy easier to execute is the fact that they used a guard that has a self-healing ability, which Northcorn lacks. For a defender. I keep saying guard. I suppose because you think of guard as person who guards a thing. Or a space, perhaps, even, in this circumstance. But yes. Anyway, so, one way or the other, we should be able to deal with those rocky fellows pretty soon here. I continue to fear for Northcorn's safety deeply, but... Pardon. Yeah, I continue to fear deeply for Northcorn's safety, but he's doing okay. With or without healing skills from our medics. Or I guess with or without skills from our medics, because none of them have any non-healing skills.
You get no sympathy.
But yes, once the rocky fellows are down, we can then concentrate every single last one of our efforts onto this fellow. I don't think we'll necessarily need that welcome mat, but it's there anyway, I suppose. It might kill the thing, actually. Or maybe not. Okay,
So that's our target?
maybe not the most climactic place to deploy Yato, but it's fine.
Setting up.
Alright, Ash, not Frost. Yeah, we don't want to move anyone too far forward, of course, because we don't want to upset the Rathalos too much. We don't want it to use its tail swipe. tail swipe has deceptively long range on it, I must admit. But yes, okay. So, now, the Rathlos is going to get angry, as we've established, and we can't have that. I suppose we can have it, but we can't, we're not going to let it be too angry for too long. So, we're going to knock it down. So, that was a little bit too early, and that is not a... we can't recover from that.
今回は残念だったけど、これくらいでは諦めないわ。
So, we're going to try this again. It made it look so easy, the video
It's
did.
time. We should be departing any moment now.
Okay, yeah, I should be placing a unit on the space directly in front of, Scavenger also, to help with blocking. Yeah, they also used a ranged guard in place of Scavenger, as you probably, I guess maybe you wouldn't have guessed it necessarily, but they used a ranged guard in place of Scavenger, as they don't really need that much...
Laying out the welcome.
Pardon me, I'm just consulting the video again. Yeah, they used... oh, actually, I was messing up my deployment a little bit, actually, because they didn't place a unit up top here, where I've been placing one, at least not that I'm seeing. Alright, so, you here,
That's Ark.
welcome Matt there. Between the two of you, we should be able to do some good work. The Rathlos will walk up a little bit, continue to be a little bit of a bother, but not too bad. More damage in the form of welcome mats is always welcome. Alright, so definitely I think having the ranged guard is good.
Setting barricade.
The problem, I guess, I was wanting to not use Lo Zhao. Oh, we've already lost. Yeah, I was wanting to not use Lo Zhao Hei. I was specifically wanting to not use Lo Zhao Hei because I wanted to... You can't kill things, you know. But, since we have another unit just right next to him anyway, it should be okay. And yeah, worst case scenario, I might just need to follow the strategy beat for beat. Or at the very least, invest in a different defender.
Stay alert.
Because yeah, you know, I like the idea of using Noir Corn for this, given his significance to the event, of course. But, that might just not be... Sentimentality might not be a luxury that we can afford on this particular day. We've already paid the price, it would seem, for our mistakes. Oh, hold on. Well, this is not the worst thing in the world.
Setting up.
Yeah, especially because we can hit twice with our good friend Lo Zhao Hei here. But yeah, a lot of our damage-dealing units, the damage-dealing units that I have are a fair amount better than the ones that were used in the video on account of being higher level. But the problem that we're running into now is that, you know, I'm able to deal more damage, but my defensive potential is the problem. Alright. Northhorn does go here,
Everyone, focus
from what
on
I've
fighting.
seen.
怖くはないわ。
Deployed.
Alright. You can't... Yeah, you can't range that either. Sick. Not that that's the worst thing in the world, but... one other thing. We are going to need...
ドクターのお手伝いだぞ。
We do have the slight issue that we cannot have Lo Xiaohei alone, because we can't let him let enemies pass into our base.
Stay alert.
ええ、気を確かに。
Yeah, we can't let him allow enemies to pass into our base, so that informs a lot of our decisions with regards to where we are placing units.
Let's go.
And specifically what units we're placing.
What to do? Deployed.
So yeah, I think part of this is just that, having more units is kind of, it's to a certain extent, it's distracting, I just have more things to think about.
Oh boy. It's on, guys.
Versus the only 5 units that this original strategy used.
Welcome set.
So yeah, a slightly different medic could be useful, or rather, replacing Perfumer could be useful. And using a non-Noir-Corn defender could also be useful. Again, we could use Blitz, but I'm worried that Blitz might cause too much damage too early. Because yes, if we aggro the Rathalos, it's bad. It's very bad for us. Honestly, actually Ash isn't going to be able to deal with all of this on her own necessarily. Yeah, she can definitely deal an admirable amount of damage. Not quite enough, I don't. Alright.
Don't get discouraged. We still have a chance.
We certainly do. Anyway, so... I think I'm going to have to dispense with sentimentality. So, Noir-Corn isn't cutting it. I don't have the focus necessary to micromanage him as effectively as I need to make him survive in his role. So, we're going with a different defender. And who shall we go with? That is the question. Let's see. Let me look at the loadout for this video real quick. Actually, can I see it? Yes, I can. Okay. Man, this is all deeply upsetting. But it's not the worst thing in the world. I think we're going to replace Noir-Corn and probably also replace Perfumer. Now the question is, who do we replace them with? I could just go with the unit. Let's see. No, this will probably be better. Alright. So,
グムが隊長なの？
our first change is we are using Gummy. Another defender. She has the ability to heal herself, so that's nice. Yeah, specifically we should, make sure she has her second skill on. Yes. So, that is our first change. Our second change, I think we're going to swap out... we're going to swap out Perfumer for another medic. So let's see what other medics I have in store. Honestly, just switching to a different, higher level defender is going to give us a big edge with regards to Yeah, it's going to give us a big edge with regards to survivability and not having to micromanage quite as much. But I think we will also, yeah, again, switch. Well, I don't know. I think Perfumer's fine. Perfumer's fine. But yeah, because they only... I think Honeyberry should be basically enough healing. Yeah, Honeyberry should be basically enough healing on her own, with now that we have Gummy, who should be significantly tougher than Noir Corn. Yeah, significantly tougher and has her own self-healing. I wonder if that might actually be a little bit more useful. Well, no, because again, we specifically need Gummy to not do damage. At least not do damage too quickly. And that skill will not only give her a debuff, or not only give her a defense buff, but also prevent her from attacking for a while. And yeah, that's it basically. So. He's an interesting character. I think we might, since we did have the issue of Lo Xiaohei being there, we might try out Tachanka first. This will delay our next target? No, pardon. Our next operator a little bit. Yeah, delay our next operator very slightly. But it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Yeah, honestly, we're experiencing a much bigger change in things than I was expecting, just from the swapping out of operators. Yeah, when I say change in things, I mean in difference from the strategy. Again, a lot of it probably just comes down to execution. I'm not a experienced guide maker in this game, of course, so that's part of it. Yeah, we might as well start welcome matting as soon as possible. There's no reason to delay. Yeah, I think these 3 should be sufficient to destroy our enemies.
Setting up.
Yeah, if not, it is what it is. Well, okay, so these 3 are not sufficient to destroy our enemies, it would seem. But I could have probably been more aggressive with the welcome mats. So,
Deployed.
Gummy, Honeyberry, Perfumer. So, they are in place, and we can move our operators around a little bit. Lo Xiaohei can't kill anything on his own. At least not properly, I suppose, in a certain sense. Yeah, he can't kill any enemy. He can't really reduce any enemy to 0 HP. But enemies will,
Deployed.
Okay, does Gummy not... No? Okay, I think she is self-healing, yeah. Okay, so she starts healing... She starts healing herself after the skill goes off. Yeah, so she has to cook and then she can eat. I guess that makes sense. So yes, between her superior defenses and the attention of the 2 medics and her excellent cooking skills, we're fine, basically. Lo Xiaohei is also fine. But yes, I think we'll want to place you here, actually.
Get the drop on you.
Yeah, it'd be very funny if the Rathalos was vulnerable to being stunned, because then a fun thing about Gummy is that she has the ability to, Frying Pan Specialist, which allows her to stun enemies. It does also increase her damage output, which could be a problem for us. But, hopefully it won't be. That might have been... Gummy might have actually been the inferior choice, now that I think about it. I was thinking she should be good because she's, you know, not...
I'm all stocked up.
Yeah, she's not Elite 2. Yeah, she's not Elite 2, as the guide specifically advised me not to use. Yeah, she's not Elite 2. She's not, Hold on, No, I was gonna say, did Ash just stun that enemy? But no, she was just, Yeah, the reason it got stunned is because it stepped on a welcome mat.
Set.
Anyway, so, Gummy has her self-healing, she has some damage. I don't know, I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. But we should be fine.
Setting up.
Because the Rathlos, it doesn't matter how low the Rathlos's health gets as long as it's not depleted, you know, by the time... As long as it's not depleted by the time we have gotten rid of all the other enemies. And yeah, once we have done that, then we're on the clock. Then we need to really keep track of what the Rathlos is up to, when and where and why and how. But yeah. Once the Rathlos's HP has been depleted, then, you know, it's a problem. With a capital everything. Capital every single letter. Ah, right. Lo Zhao Hei, since there's more than one enemy forcing you to attack, you might as well attack more than one enemy. Gummy can start cooking once again. We will let her cook, after having had the let the Rathlos cook strategy. Yeah. If we have to, if this keeps going, because we're already about an hour and a half into the stream just attempting this specific stage, if we have to, then we will just, we will, honestly, if we have to, I think we might just go ahead and do the, attempt my let the Rathlos cook strategy, maybe modified a little bit. But, we might just let him cook. But actually, yeah, we are now getting into, we've got few enough enemies on the field that I feel comfortable with deploying, or with redeploying our units, moving them around. They're not being redeployed. Okay, so now begins the hard part. So we can't be too hasty. Okay, so it's definitely flying, so we can definitely use our ability now.
Hang in there.
Yeah, we can't let anyone else get too close, because if they do, then the Rathlos will turn around and start to harm them, which I don't want to happen. Yeah, it is vitally important that the Rathlos does not turn around at any point. And yeah, we need to keep our finger on the trigger with regards to moving Gummy for when the Rathlos starts to fly. And so okay. Finger on the trigger. Gummy is selected. Or actually, we'll probably need to, yeah, we'll need to move Perfumer first, because it will prioritize the furthest target from it. Alright. Gummy, I think can... Well, we need to knock it down out of the sky first. Hold on. Alright, so Tachanka needs to be moved forward. You're fine. Gummy's fine. Everything is fine. Actually, we might actually want to place Gummy on its square. Now that I think about it. Oh, nope. Okay, we messed up. Alright, so we need to rely... Okay, right. Oh, I just remembered. The Rathalos, once it's in its next phase here, gets more attack.
Let's go.
So, since it has more attack now, I need to be even more careful.
Damn it. Screwed up again.
A little bit. Alright. But, we're figuring this out. So, let me look at the numbers. 528 defense versus 402 defense. So, it could be beneficial to put Blitz on the field. I might have also been able to stun the Rathalos. It might have been... its time may have... Can you tell I'm panicking a little bit? Yeah, all this time, I've just been learning more and more about this game and how it's a lot harder than I thought it was. At first I was thinking, oh, having units that are, within the... at the level for the event will make it too easy. So I've got to use units that are under level deliberately. And that didn't pan out. That most certainly did not. Yeah, I had that thought. Then I had the thought of, we're going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, thought, don't use units that are, on the level, because they'll be too strong. Then I had the thought of, if you use a guide, that'll make it too easy. But really, the issue, or rather, there's no issue. The guide isn't going to make this too easy. It's going to make this possible. It's going to make it possible to clear this stage in a complete manner. But even then, only maybe, kind of, if we play our cards right. Yeah, I'm very much have been underestimating the event and its difficulty, and that is a big mistake. I wonder what I'm doing wrong that enemy is getting through, because there was a point where it wasn't.
Deployed.
Anyway, Gummy. So, we will place Gummy here. We will place a medic to watch over Gummy. In fact, we can probably just place the medic
Everyone,
here.
focus on fighting. Just leave treatment to me. これが戦場というものね。
Actually, this was a bad idea, now that I think about it.
So that's our target?
Fortunately, we have a good friend named Yato who can solve all of our messes.
Am I up?
So, we're going to try this again. We're going to position our units a little bit more intelligently. Lo Xiaohei can go here.
Setting up.
Frost. We'll want to cover the top, just like we had Ash doing that earlier.
主にアラティスの特製料理だよ。
Okay.
Laying out the welcome mat.
Yes. We are certainly learning. Yeah. And they really love playing Proof of a Hero. I mean, it may just be Rathalos, but this is the monster for this event.
Setting up.
Yes, hello, Rook. Good to see you. But yes, we are deep in. We are about. I guess it took us about 20 minutes to get into it. Yeah, that's the same song they use for Fatalis.
Set.
Fair enough. But again, this is the monster for this event. And plus it's an iconic song, But yeah, glad to have you here. Like I said, we're about an hour deep into attempting this stage, with no success thus far. And our only hope now is to kill this Rathalos, which is an extraordinarily difficult task, for us, considering that we are desperately under-leveled and I have no way of leveling up my operators anymore. I guess I could level up Gummy here specifically, but I can't level up any of my other operators. And the strategy we're using does rely to a certain extent on my operators being fairly low level. Or at least on Gummy being fairly low level. If she were much stronger, it would probably not work. Mount him, slam him into a wall, then hunt his wife. If only that were an option. No Rathians here, though. But yes. We should soon be getting into the phase where we don't need to worry too much about any of this anymore. Yeah. And when I say this, I mean just sort of the additional enemies. Yeah, definitely switching to Gummy was a good choice, because now we don't have to worry so much about her health. Of course, I did get a little bit careless earlier. Whoop. Yeah, I did get a little bit careless earlier, and that led to some problems, but, you know, it's fine. Basically, it's fine. That was an odd noise. Yeah, how have you been doing today, Rook? I hope you have been well. Yeah, this is currently the second day that we've been attempting to clear this stage. So things could be a little bit better around here. But we're optimistic. We have a strategy that's pretty good. It hasn't worked so far, to be honest, but it's pretty good in general. It has the potential to work, certainly. And if we have played our cards right, it should work without too much additional input from us, or at least we should get to the next part of the strategy without any additional effort. Yeah, we just need to kill this specific little guy. Then we can focus all of our attention on Rathian, or Rathalos, rather. I think one thing that might be going wrong is that I'm letting Rathalos have too much time potentially targeting Gummy. Because yeah, the video that I watched did redeploy Gummy, or did redeploy Spot, is the operator that they use. Okay, here we go. Yeah, did deploy Spot onto a space that the Rathalos occupied, but it never left him there for very long. And I think part of the issue might be that I'm leaving her on that spot for too long. Okay, so now it's going to get into the air. It's going to breathe some fire. And we don't want that. Well, more specifically, we don't want it in the air. So now that it's in the air, we're going to knock it down. And here's where the hard part begins, because now that we're in the second part of the fight, it has more damage, has more health, and is just generally kind of a nuisance. So, as much as possible, we need to prevent it from attacking our units, or rather from dealing damage to our units. And we can do that most effectively by... okay, I think we're fine. It might be getting back into the air shortly.
Let's get
It might be getting back into the air shortly. Yes? Is that? No, that's a fireball. Okay, now it's back in the air. So... Alright, it's going to attack Perfumer. We'll move... We should have... Okay, now it's turned around. That's very bad. Like... It seems innocuous enough, but that might have been an irrecoverable mistake that we've just made. Alright, so, Gummy, please get its attention and do not lose. Do not lose. I think we're gonna need to move... Right, because I wasn't paying attention to Gummy's health. Alright. Irrecoverable mistake.
如果没有力量，
We
就
are...
不要背
This
任何
entire mission is balanced on a knife's edge. If anything goes wrong, we have to restart.
Conceal yourselves
Anyway.
so the enemy won't find you. I know what to do.
I feel like I had more success with
Are we doing this?
Scavenger here. It might just come down to how I deploy my units rather than which ones I specifically deploy. But yeah, definitely something is not quite going right with how I'm deploying my units here. So having some more
You get no
DP
sympathy.
early on is going to be kind of nice.
暗殺なら結構得意だよ。
I've got more units than the other strategy used, so I might as well, you know, take advantage of that fact. Alright, here comes the guy,
Deployed.
the big fella. And here comes the problems.
Don't worry.
At least some of
That's
them.
Arknights.
Fortunately, the Rathlos is going to take his time, so we're not going to need to worry too much about too much of this action. Yeah. If we get into an irrecoverable state after this, we can, well, okay. If I play my cards right, I should be able to prevent us from getting into an irrecoverable state. If we let a single enemy other than the Rathlos past us and into the objective here, this blue box, if a single enemy gets into there, we have lost, basically. There's nothing we can do about that. In theory, we should be able to kill the Rathalos. Maybe that, you might think that goes without saying, but it's really not that certain. It's not that certain.
Let's go.
Yeah, because like I said, we are 20 levels, like, the best of our units is about 10 to 20 levels below what the game suggests that we be at for this mission. Like I said, we currently don't have any way to raise the levels of our units. Normally we would be able to, but I have not made enough story progress to have that option currently.
Stay alert.
So, we are in dire straits.
海に張らせて。海に張らせてな。
Yeah, I need to use her skill as much as we can, because we don't want...
ヘイジ、ドクターのお手伝いだ
Yeah,
ぞ。
we don't want the...
暗殺なら結構得意だよ。
what's the word I'm looking for?
Laying out the welcome mat.
One of them. One of the words that exists, I'm sure. Yeah, I think at this point we should be beyond any irrecoverable mistakes. There shouldn't be anything that can happen that will ruin us completely. I may have to take a mediocre clear of this mission. I would like to kill the Rathlos, but if things don't go very well, that might just not be possible. But yes, the key to victory here are these wire drones. So you can use those to redeploy your operators without having to remove them from the field, because an operator once removed from the field, whether that be due to their HP being depleted or just due to them, you know, due to you manually removing them, that causes them to go on a cooldown before you can use them again. And the wire drone allows you to reposition your units without, for one thing, paying that time, that redeployment time. But it also gives you the additional benefit that you can, it gives you the additional benefit
No sympathy.
that the state that your operator is in when you redeploy them is completely reset. So they are fully healed, everything, completely reset, 100% back to normal. But yeah, I think we can probably... Well, no. I don't... It's not necessary. I was going to say we can probably change Ash's facing here, but we don't need to.
There is no turning
And
back for
yeah,
you.
I'm desperately afraid of doing anything that's unnecessary. That's it. Because yeah, so far I've been following a strategy, like I said. I've been following a strategy, a video that I watched, and we've not been having the most success with it. And
Keep writhing in the gutter.
yeah, all of that, by and large, just comes down to my own failure to properly assess the situation and deal with threats as they arise. Yeah, more specifically, it has come down to my failure to appropriately use the wire drone. Because the wire drone is very, very necessary for this strategy to work. I need to rapidly and frequently change the position of my operators. And in fact, I'm going to double check.
You get no sympathy.
I'm going to pause the video. And I'm going to look at the... I'm going to pause the game. I'm going to look at the video again. Just so that I can be sure that I'm not doing something desperately wrong. Yeah, I think basically the only thing that's really going wrong is just that I'm not timing my wired drones properly. Or rather, I'm just not using them at all, for the most part. Yeah, I should also be able to put more damage on the Rathlos, I think. Alright. Alright. So I need to move back. Okay. Not the most riveting commentary in the world, but it is what it is. Yeah, if I begin to fear for my operator's life, I need to immediately react. I cannot afford a single delay. Yeah, and especially... Okay, right. Okay. So, I think... What do I think? Okay. So I need to be deploying... Yeah, I need to be moving my defender back and forth a little bit more than I am. Which is to say, I need to be doing that at all. Because yeah, I've just sort of been trying to wait until the very last moment to use my wired drones, but in doing so, I consistently miss the timing and die. Although actually, oh, okay. So one thing I am noticing is that this strategy, one thing that I just completely forgot to take into account is that at a certain point, the strategy does let your board wipe, basically, to let you reset your units. So I guess, yeah, I've been getting into situations where all of my operators start dying because the Rathlos is too strong. But I think I've been jumping the gun a little bit, actually. Yeah, I've been jumping the gun a little bit because I don't necessarily need to make sure that it, yeah, I can't just stun lock it. That's just not an option that I have. But yeah, Once we get to a certain point, though, it shouldn't be necessary. I will still need to be very aggressive with my wire drones, however. And yeah, I think probably, honestly, Gummy probably was one of the worst choices I could have made, because she doesn't have like an instant self-heal like some other defenders do. Anyway, so let's, now that I've solved this puzzle, let's get back into the game. Oh boy. But yeah, Gummy does have more sustained self-heal than other healing defenders that I could have used here. But she doesn't have the ability to, in an emergency, self-heal, like just whenever I want to. For one thing, her self-heal has a long cooldown, and even if it didn't, it has a long, it takes a long time to cool down, it takes a long time to charge back up. Which means that it's not super appropriate, given that I'm planning on moving her around back and forth a lot.
Hang in there, Theo.
So, before too long, we'll want to redeploy Ash. And maybe we should have redeployed Ash sooner, actually. But this is not the worst thing in the world.
Engaging.
Flurry. 位置についた。
Alright, stun immediately.
You get no
No,
sympathy.
yeah, no goofing around. Okay. Okay. So. I need to be very careful and wait until it is ready to fly again. Once it shows any signs of wanting to lift off, that's not it. Yeah, once it shows any signs of wanting to lift off, then we immediately need to be ready to react. Okay, so it will probably go for Perfumer first, if my, what's the word I'm looking for? If my intel is, no, okay, right. Okay, we've messed up, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Because yeah, I completely forgot that Yato was there, which is a bit of a big deal for us.
ついたよ。
Stay clear of the blast.
これが戦場というものね。
So, yeah, we've messed this up pretty bad. Because now it's facing the wrong way. I guess Perfumer doesn't... it feels weird and bad to say, but Perfumer doesn't necessarily need to be alive.
You get no sympathy.
馬がみんなを守る。まだなの？死人はしない。地図をよこしなさい。
Okay, so we messed up.
Quickly!
Right, because I keep forgetting what we're really trying to accomplish here.
Even to me.
So, it's not just a matter of... I think we'll let him cook. Anyway, so it's not just a matter of... I am completely at a loss here. But yeah, it's not just a matter of moving our units around and resetting their health or whatever. Another thing that we're trying to do when it gets into its flying stage is we're trying to get it to... we're trying to redeploy fast enough that we can animation cancel, basically. Yeah, we're trying to animation cancel the Rathalos. Yeah. Doing so will delay it, and thus make our lives just a whole lot easier. But at this point, we've spent enough time that I don't really want to deal with it that much. So, we have let him cook.
Oh boy, that's on it.
We have let him cook, and now it is time for us to finish.
Arrived at designated position. Treatment target sighted.
So, I might not get this clear. Yeah, the dream that I had been hoping for probably is not meant to be. In theory, the mission still... It should still be possible, I think, to defeat the Rathalos in this next part. When we see him again, because we will see him again. I think it should theoretically be possible, but I have absolutely no guidance on how I'm going to make that happen. So, possible though it may be, it's not plausible. Yeah, we have lost out on a reasonable likelihood of actually beating this mission. And we might have lost out on any possibility of beating this mission if I haven't done this correctly. Yeah, things need to be dead. And okay, I think we're good on that front, actually. If I'd really played my cards right, I maybe could have still possibly taken down the Rathalos there, to sort of reset and retried the strategy. It shouldn't have been totally impossible, but I definitely didn't have the confidence to attempt it. So, now we're kind of at a loss, at an impasse.
Finally, am I up?
Okay, so he's on the ground, which is interesting. Too close, okay. That's too close too. Yeah. I've got no confidence in us completing this mission with anything other than a pretty mediocre result.
Mission accomplished.
We won, but we didn't really win. Bittersweet, this victory. Ready, quick, make haste and record what I'm about to say. This could perhaps be the only record of a Rathalos hunt in Terra. Meow. This is the first Terra Research Commission, and I am its leader, the Feline Scholar. Meow. What's wrong, Smithy? Isn't it natural that I be the leader? Unsatisfied? Meow. You can be the chief artisan. Anyway, enough of that. We stand on the fur front of the hunt, behind a rock on the front lines. The ultimate showdown is happening right now, before our very eyes. On one side, we have the King of the Skies. On the other, we have the local fledgling Terran hunters, accompanied by a self-proclaimed battle-hardened feline, the Palico. Though it seems like the Rathalos will win, the current situation is intense beyond imagination. Both sides enter the white-hot stage of flames. Are you writing this all down, Smithy? Meow. And now we see, the Palico has dodged the Rathalos' attack. Splendid! Its attention has been drawn away. Seizing the opportunity, Norcorn rushes towards the Rathalos' tail and raises his longsword. And then... he's sent flying! Pathetic. Norcorn seems to be fumbling his move, so let's see how the other is faring. Yato waits for the Rathalos to attack and strikes it from the side. She cleverly dodges his attack, manages to reach its underside, and aims for her target, the Rathalos' right wing. However, it suddenly takes to the air and breathes a huge jet of flame. Her attack's been neutralized. What a pity. Wow. Now Norcorn is once again attacking the Rathalos. This time he does not miss, and the longsword ruthlessly cuts into the Rathalos' tail. However, he seems to have not controlled his strength and was blown away by the Rathalos' tailspin. That's twice already. But he stands. The soul of a fighter burns brightly, and he goes in for another round. Born. I'm fine. My chest just feels a little tight. Stop looking at me. I'm really fine. Even as the Rathalos' health dwindles, it becomes ever more difficult to approach it. The originium dust surrounding it has increased in density and exponentially increasing the power of its flames. Its attack patterns are becoming hard to predict. Its acuity has also increased along with its aggressiveness, and it's no longer easily distracted, making it impossible to sneak attacks in. Kisama, we're back to square one. It's difficult to close the distance. Wow, the Rathalos isn't facing us anymore. That direction is... It turned towards the temporary shelter, but the villages are still waiting to be evacuated. Energy into blade. Energy as blade. Norcorn, don't get distracted. We have to figure out a way to stop its advance. Your longsword. Even though it's not easy to control the direction of your swings, I should be able to use it as a springboard to approach the Rathalos, just like before. This time, I'll aim for its weak spot and stop it in its tracks. But with the Rathalos enraged, your Majesty will be completely exposed to its attacks and will most likely have to tackle it head-on. There's no time. Just go with my plan, Korn. Yato? What? Hurry! Listen, it took a heavy blow to its skull, and though it looks like it's already recovered from that, its jaw is moving differently now. We should wait for just the right moment to aim for its head and deal a knockout blow. But given the current situation, our odds of getting a good angle are nearly zero. If we can manage to knock it down, though, that would be a good enough chance, right? It would, but... Korn, what are you doing? I'm going to create that chance. Palico, I'll use that move you told me about, even though it's real difficult. Believe in me. Only I can do it. I believe in you too, Yato. That only you can seize this chance. I will. Good. Control the blade, and aim for the enemy with your energy to release even stronger power. Energy as blade, and aim for the enemy. What was it? That one move? The one that Palico taught me, similar to the one I was trained in. The most convenient move to chop things with. Your Majesty, while the Rathalos is injured, use the Spirit Slash I mentioned. Alright. I got it. Next, hold the blade near the waist during the attack. And then, unsheathe. The Spirit Slash. It hit. Your Majesty, the time has come. I remember now. The longsword's strongest move. I can feel that call of power. Its name is... Gah! Spirit Helmbreaker. Ha! Norcorn leapt onto the Rathalos, using his momentum to launch himself into the air. As if pulled by an invisible wire, his body was hurled high up into the sky. His energy accumulates, condensing into the smallest speck at the highest point, and then it bursts. With a speed meant for thousands of kilometers, he slashes downwards at the Rathalos' body. So much ash, I can't make anything out. Orn, are you alright? I'm good, but my body kinda doesn't want to move. You pulled off the Spirit Helmbreaker in such a short time, how amusing! But the Rathalos is too perceptive and made a counterattack. Make way for Meow. Smithy, it's our turn to pull out the card again. Here we go. Quickly, throw Norcorn on top. Smithy, what are you doing? That's not Norcorn. That is... Wow! The Rathalos' tail? He chopped it off. It's fallen. This is your best chance. No time for hesitation. I'm moving in. Ah, quick, bring Norcorn away. Don't interfere with my note-taking. I'm leaving the rest to you, Yato. Wound. Where is it? Somewhere in the lower jaw. Curses, there's so much dust swirling around. Visibility is so poor. Found it. There. I'll finish you off here. Your Majesty, please, stop! Lost the perfect chance. To actually recover so quickly, even with its tail cut off, this Rathalos is truly incredible. It's about to take flight. Direction, it seems it's still heading towards the temporary shelter. Is there no way to knock it down? There must be, right, Palico? Your Majesty, the only thing that could work now would be a flash bomb, but mine broke before I came here. With our current resources, we have no way of fighting it if it doesn't come down to attack us. And are we just going to stand and watch it destroy everything? Waste all of our efforts? No, it can't end like this. The most important lesson that the hunters who have fought these monsters throughout the ages, who fought these monsters throughout the ages with their own flesh and blood, is that we must drag them into our hunting grounds to be able to compete with these creatures beyond imagination. The Rathalos is the king of the skies, so the sky is its territory. There might be no way to stop one like this. Hey, Smithy, don't go over there. It's dangerous. I'll probably need to place a flashing lights warning on this. One tool that works just like a flash bomb, right here, Meow, from you. What are you saying? You managed to craft one? It's because of this. I found some local originium slugs in the stinky fowl's nest earlier that can emit a pretty strong light. I mixed some other materials in and bang, created a flash bomb kind of tool. Your Majesty, this is the ultimate weapon against a Rathalos. Throw it at its head and it will explode with a blinding light. Remember to shield your eyes. It's like throwing a grenade, right? I got it. You can call it the shiny flash nade. Mm-hmm. Pass it to me. Fall. You did it! The Rathalos has fallen out of the sky! Palico, what's the most effective move to use on the Rathalos with these dual blades I'm using? A mid-air spinning blade dance. You must first enter demon mode, and then jump in the direction you want to attack. Skip to the important part. Spin your dual blades in the most violent way and dance through the air. Blade dance. An opening. I need to find one. A mid-air blade dance. Eat Meow Blade! Rathalos, I'm here. I'm your opponent. She rushed straight in, with nothing but her quarry in her eyes. The dual blade spun and twirled in the air, slicing through the smoke and dust. Her body whirled through the air, as if dancing. Excellent. We managed to tie it up. It's fortunate I learned a method of binding monsters in an eastern village. Did we do it? Finally. Victory. Your Majesty, it will be difficult to keep it trapped here for long, so Mew must decide what to do, post-haste. I know. Previously, I had thought that the Rathlos should not be your target, but after having hunted side by side with Mew, I have changed my mind. I did not understand this great land of yours and the existence of Originium, so I cannot be sure of what other threats the Rathlos may pose in the future. This is your home, so the decision should be left to Mew. Her gaze swept over the massive body as ashes scattered everywhere from its struggle. Even though its scales were riddled with scars, its might was still daunting. What truly impressive vitality. For the safety of everyone that comes after, I must ensure that the threat is eradicated, for that is my duty. Let's finish it off. Yato, wait! What's wrong? Listen to me, there's no need... No need to what? I'm choking so bad. There's no need for us to end its life. And your reasoning is? Because... Let Meow explain. Look at the parts with the Originium clusters. Smithy, hand Meow the hammer and we will conduct some tapping. It fell off? Morcorn, take this and go test it for active Originium. I learned from the other scholar that the Rathlos' violent temperament is a side effect of the Originium's influence, but it's not actually infected, even though it was spreading Originium dust everywhere. This may not be enough to dispel your doubts, but I also discovered something very interesting deep in the mine and compared it with my notes, and have confirmed the following. In truth, the Rathlos has been fighting against the Originium's influence, and the clusters are a product of its resistance. Morcorn, the test results confirm my hypothesis, yes? Yeah, these Originium clusters aren't active. The Rathlos is merely contaminated with active Originium from the area, and as long as it's not in an active Originium zone, will spread no dust on its own. But we can't guarantee that it won't appear next to an Originium mine in the future, so it's still dangerous. Or do I have to find a way to transport it somewhere and keep it locked up? No, I promise you it won't fly too far from here. It's already old and starvation has worn it out, and after this hunt, its mobility is extremely poor now. I think it went to the Originium mine to try and recover its strength, for their nests resemble the volcanic area we saw deep inside. Indeed, I recall seeing it head towards a volcano when I first spotted it. And now that I think on it, it must be trying to return from whence it came. Well. Corn, what do you think? I think, since it no longer poses a threat and since it didn't attack anyone deliberately, the Rathalos was panting violently, fiery sparks splashing out of its jaws over and over its new scars. Its body was still trembling non-stop, squeezing out the very last of its breath, desperately fighting against the shackles. That scared the meow out of me. You're all tied up and still moving around. The catastrophe is coming closer and closer. In the face of a real disaster, we are truly insignificant. Palico, you're wrong about one thing. Well? This land has never belonged to us alone, but also to all the life here that's just trying to survive. Fighting each other for the chance to live, even if they die bravely in the process. Yato, where are you going? Reinforcements are almost here, so I'll head to the shelter and help the villagers evacuate. What about the Rathalos? I don't waste time on anything unrelated to my mission, since there will always be some other meddler ready to sort things out. Captain's Log Number 5. This is Rhodes Island Operations Team A4, Captain Yato. The source of the Originium dust spreading in Roka Village has been dealt with, and the threat has been eliminated. The next step is to complete the evacuation and ensure the villagers are safe from the catastrophe. Mission complete. End of recording. Hurry, lady! The monster is flying away! Huh? Rathalos flew away? Huh, I expected as much. Is it because those people couldn't defeat it? Were they not strong enough? No, they're truly strong. They defeated a whole bunch of Originium slugs after all. Are Originium slugs the same level as that monster? They definitely made the right choice. It flew away. My moneymaker has flown away. Get in the car now. We have yet to settle our accounts. He says, wiping his knife. Akira, you would have done it this way as well, wouldn't you? I knew you saved a Arma Clawbeast cub back then. It flew away. It really flew away. Flew away. What are you guys dallying about for? Come over and help.
Maintain a perimeter.
Well, we can definitely say with confidence that it flew away. So, we may not get that Rathalos ruby, sadly. Well, I am going to be right back. Give me just one moment. Oh, this isn't the right room. Alright, we're back. So, as much as I would like to get a perfect clear of this mission and get that Rathalos ruby, I don't think we can do it. I think what we'll do is we'll read through this, and if it's not desperately late, we might give it one final attempt. But my first mission is to the story. In the end, the hunter didn't defeat the monster. But the villagers had left, leaving behind only empty ruins to burn in the flames. Wounded and without a target, the monster roared and bellowed and returned to the forest on its own. As though leaving with the parting words, "I'll be back." The hunter stands quietly facing the forest. A long time passes before he answers. What? The hunter doesn't beat the monster? Lame. This feels like a personal attack. Yeah, he's the greatest hunter in the village. Why couldn't he beat the monster? That's just how the story goes. But the Rathalos that attacked the village got away. It's because they were all too weak. When I become a hunter, I'll chase that Rathalos away in the blink of an eye. Cut it out. I saw it with my own eyes. You're no match for it. Look, what do you think this is? The spear they used to hunt the Rathalos. Yato told me to take care of it for now, which means I'm worthy of carrying it. I'm the one who's going to be the greatest hunter in the whole village. You just go home and sleep. I dare you to say that again. Spirit Helm Breaker, take that. All right, kids, that's enough. What did the hunter say in the end? Well, it's time for lunch. Go eat, and I'll continue the hunter's story afterwards. Go on now. Mirai, it's already been half a month, but sometimes it feels like it was yesterday. Your memory's improving. I've never forgotten about Akira. Is old Kashiwao awake? Still in a coma, but the doctor says he's gotten a lot better. He has a lot of life left in him yet. Things have been so busy lately, new streets and new houses. Good thing we'd saved up some money from the Originium mining and made Hiroshi Rito cough up the money he embezzled. The beginning is always the easy part, though. The question is, what kind of industry should the village pursue? Mirai, can't we try the Suzuka cultivation method you mentioned once things have settled down? Oh, I was lying about that. Lying? You know how sensitive Suzuka herbs are. It's not really feasible to cultivate them outside the native habitat with current technology. But you said you guys would never have been willing to move if I didn't. You lost your wits in the face of danger and Rito played you like a fiddle. I had to find a way to get you people to leave. The future. Just thinking about the livelihood of the village is making my head hurt. Actually, I do have an idea. Really? Really? Go ahead then, I'm listening. We can make use of our experience working in the mines. We can have our people go out to work in mature Originium projects and bring back safe, established technologies relying on existing supply chains. Do you realize what you're saying? We finally managed to escape that Originium mine, and now you're trying to send us back in? Weren't you the one who wanted to blow it up? It wasn't about the mine itself, but the fact that you were digging up more than you can manage, and none of you would listen to reason. We've been working directly with Originium ore for so long and gained so much experience. That can only come in handy. Originium is too dangerous. Catastrophe, oropathy. Are we really going to go back to living in fear? Even so, Uncle, there's nowhere in Terra we can avoid living alongside Originium. The bright lights of the great cities are fueled by the Originium industry, after all. It's too late to turn our backs on it and go back to the old ways. But how can we? Starting over doesn't mean abandoning everything we once had. What we know about the Originium industry is just the tip of the iceberg. We need to move forward, learn from mature industrial systems, and gain more experience. We'll learn to benefit from the Originium in a safe, controlled manner. We brought this disaster on ourselves because of our short-sightedness, but that doesn't mean we have to abandon the idea entirely. On the contrary, we must learn to respect Originium and respect the destruction it can cause in order to fully enjoy the opportunities that it brings. We shouldn't let the sacrifices of the past go to waste. Besides, we have our friends from Rhodes Island helping us now. Yes, you're right. I should think about the village's future in more practical terms. Originium industry. I don't know how much of our existing experience will apply, but like you said, it's worth a try. And when the situation in the village improves, can you build me a beautiful lab with the latest technologies? What? What are you planning? To cultivate Suzuka outside its native habitat, of course, along with other research with the aim of breaking free from a reliance on Originium. Bring us closer to a day where we won't have to cower in the shadow of disaster, when we can stand tall and look towards the light. Towards tomorrow. I'm still worried, Yato. What if the doctor finds out that we took a detour here on our way back from the mission? Are you going to tell them? Of course not. Here we are. Wow, everything really was destroyed by the catastrophe. The whole hill was reduced to ashes, and those ashes rose into the clouds and continue to fall even now. How long has it been, Corn? Half a month. Already? Feels like it happened yesterday. I heard that the felines have been integrated into Rhodes Island. Yes, the official name is the Feline Task Force, led by the Palico, but the scholar insists on calling it the Terra Research Mission and claims to be the leader. They deal with unusual life forms for the flora and fauna of Terra and look for a way home. Palico added that last bit because apparently Artie and Scholar have completely forgotten about it. Yeah, I can imagine the Scholar's excitement. The rebuilding of Roka is underway too. Everything's getting better, don't worry. You know why I came here? Not to reminisce about the past, that's for sure. You know me so well. You remember the Rathalos? The monitoring report says it hasn't left the Sobo Mountains. It can be seen circling them amidst the cloud of ashes from time to time. It won't be easy to spot from a place like this. Let me take a look. It's right there, up in the sky. Where? Oh, I see it now. I came to... Yato catches a piece of ash. Witness its fall. The Rathalos flies towards the skies amidst the drifting ashes. It flies further and further, as though drawn by a thread. A thread that would inevitably break at some point. Then it will fall towards the earth. He looks to his right and sees her gazing towards the sky. His gaze slowly moves downward, stopping at her fingertips. More corn reaches out. Oh, you got some ash on your shoulder. Are you smiling? It's nothing. Let's go. I'll be here, the hunter said. At the end of the story, many years have passed, new houses have been built in the village, and the forest looks different. The young hunter stands where the old hunter once did, facing the monster born anew. They gaze into each other's eyes. So, that didn't take too long. And just to make sure that I don't forget, we're going to go through here and get some of these materials. But the materials are not really the biggest thing that we want, because there is something else to be gained. Whoop. Okay. Okay, we've already gone through all of that. So, what's next? Or I guess we have to meld for it, don't we? I think. Or do we? Ah. Here we are. On your Majesty's summons, we, the Feline Special Corps, cream of the crop of the Terra Researchers Commission's First Fleet, have arrived. Ouch! Get your hind paws off my head. There we are. Alright. Got some melding materials, and we got the Terra Research Commission. I don't think the Terra Research Commission will necessarily be all that beneficial to us. But let's meld what we've got. And let's meld some more. I guess we can just keep going. Yeah, we can just keep adding stuff and we will keep getting stuff out of it, it seems like. I've done some grinding off stream, so hopefully we should have more than enough resources to get all that we want. Which is primarily just all the tokens for the Terra Research Commission, so we can max them out. But we're not quite there yet, it would seem. Okay, there we go. I skipped past it, but we're fine. So that's all there. And that's the extent of what we can do here, it seems like. We've recouped some of our costs, it would seem, but... Oh, okay, we're still melding. We're still melding. I have no idea how much we actually have in terms of melding materials, but it seems like we have enough to just kind of keep going. I guess it's... Yeah, we just keep going. I don't know why. I guess maybe it's because we're only allowed to add so much at a time. And we just happen to have a lot of tiers, and those just happen to be the most expensive things. I guess it might be chance-based. Because, yeah, we definitely... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what to make of all this. Yeah, I think at this point we've exhausted all of our more valuable materials, and so we're just sort of, Yeah. Okay. Ah, okay, now we can see. So yeah, so we only have the monster bones at this point. So we can basically just keep putting resources in and just keep getting resources out. Unfortunately, no dual chips, so we're still in the same situation that we always were in, sadly. But yes. I guess that is a mission that we could conceivably do. But, honestly, I'm tired. I'm tired, and as much as I want the Rathlos dead at my hand, there's not... I don't think I've got it in me. But yeah. I might... If I can find the time, I might spend a little bit of extra time off-stream trying to get a kill on it. I'll be sure to record it so that we can, see it. But, yeah. We just, yeah. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate to say, but, I knew I should have been higher level for this event. Or I should have had the ability to get higher level for this event. I wanted to get further into the story before we got started on this, and if I had, then we wouldn't have had to resort to a strategy that I cannot get to work. that's it. So, to a certain extent, this is my fault, basically, for being just not having, not following through on the commitment I made to play enough Arknights to be able to level up my units enough to get to a point where I can satisfactorily conclude that mission. So, we're going to conclude the stream for tonight. Conclude it on a little bit of a bittersweet note, but I'm glad for the people of Roka Village. I'm sure that they have a bright future ahead of them. I'm curious whether or not we will see more of them in the future. It seems a little bit unlikely, but it's not impossible. But yes, this event was a lot of fun. I'm kind of curious if this final chapter of the story would have different dialogue if we had beaten the Rathalos. I kind of assume not, but honestly, it might even be more appropriate that we didn't kill it. It did just fly away, after all. But it is what it is. There are definitely, probably, maybe, possibly, changes I could have made to the way I was trying to execute that strategy. But I think, by and large, the biggest thing was just I didn't have enough focus to keep up engaging commentary, while also, I couldn't focus on delivering engaging commentary and focus on defeating it. Or, well, I guess the issue wasn't defeating it. The issue was not being defeated by it, really. So, because one thing that I'm seeing from the video is that the Rathalos, they managed to cut its tail off. Which I think I should have a, similar amount of DPS. Yes, actually, no, they do actually, that's part of the issue, I think, maybe, because they do have more units targeting it in that video. So, if I'd studied the video a little bit more, if I'd been a little bit more focused, I probably could have managed it. But we don't have time now. I need to end stream because I'm tired. So, if anyone has any raid suggestions, I would be delighted to hear them. If not, I can always find a target on my own. And so, let's see, what are we going to do and say first? Oh, one other thing, right? Thank you, Bolin Bear and Knight Athos for the follow. But yeah, I don't know why, but I've lost my ability to replay notifications, so I apologize. As soon as I have that back, I will thank you again and replay the notification, assuming that I remember, which is not guaranteed. But yes, so tomorrow, no Arknights. We're taking a break from Arknights for the rest of the week at least. But yeah, tomorrow we should see. Anyway, tomorrow we should see 8:30 p.m. Central Time, the return of Coffee Talk, the Coffee Talk collab with Sheppy Sheps. And that will be what it will be. It will be not as stressful as this, hopefully. Hasn't been very so far, so. So, let's see. Coffee Talk. And then, the rest of the week, I'm not quite sure. There's a good chance that I will just take the rest of the week off. Once again, I might, if I find it in me, I might try to defeat the Rathalos a little bit more on my own time. But, as it stands, we have concluded the Rathalos hunting that we're going to be doing on stream right now. And it's a real shame because we're not going to get the chance again. So, I guess we will if we play a Monster Hunter game, but anyway. So, with that, I think I will be choosing our raid target. We're going to go and drop by Chibi, Asa Chibi VT. Yeah, doing some art right now, or something related to art. It doesn't seem like she's drawing right now. It seems like she's talking about something. But anyway, gonna drop by, say hi, and I'm going to leave shortly probably because I need to rest. So, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope that you have had a fine night. Oh, hold on. The customary raid message is, as always, we have arrived. So, that being said, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope that you have had a fine night. I hope that you will continue to have a fine night every night. And I hope that you will be well until the next time I see you. Thank you all very much, and farewell. Let us get this raid underway.